Is my presentation on our AUP, or our acceptable use policy in Talbot County Public Schools. So first things first, before we start anything and dive any further into the conversation around Talbot County's AUP, we want to really look at, well, what exactly is a UAP and why should our districts or counties have them? So they're known as a particular document that contains stipulations and expectations that a user must follow while using a device, internet, or any other technological resource while part of a company or system. So that could include, but is not limited to, schools, businesses, social media, things like that. I think it's really important for us to have them and instill them in our companies, in our schools, and other various places because of the fact that it lays out the expectations of, okay, this is what you can do and this is what you should not be doing, and what happens as a result of those actions. So with that being said, for Talbot County Public Schools, you can locate our AUPs on our website under our policies. So if you usually just go into, I think it's from the About, and then it'll pull up policies, or you can also search it as well. And then when you are finding your policies, there is a whole lengthy list of the different policies. So you might have to scroll a little bit to search for ours. So there are two different types. We do have our staff and teachers, and then we also have one for our students as well. So with that being said, as you can see, this is a very short 2-section AUP, whereas when you go and you look at the other half, this is our students' AUP. So it is significantly longer than our teachers' AUP. So going back to staff and teachers, I think one way that we can make sure that our staff and teachers are aware of this is by going over these different policies and expectations at the very beginning of the year when teachers get their devices. I can tell you right now from my own personal experience, I have never looked at this, if I'm being completely honest. I've never looked at this until I was doing this project and actually had to go in and search it myself. I wasn't aware of what really a AUP was until we started this, let alone that my county had one and had the expectations for me. I feel like as an adult, I should know how to personally use a device. And I don't know, they just never presented this to me. So I think it would be really important to have this as one of the things that they go over with New Year teachers, maybe even at the beginning of the year when we do our first year, kind of like walk through policies. And it can be a quick and easy thing because it's only 2 sections of this is what you can do and this is what you should not be doing. Anywho's, with that being said, I think that for the student wise, I think it's really important, same thing, that I didn't even know that these existed, let alone my students know they existed. And I think that in order to promote digital literacy skills, and especially reflecting a lot of the ISTE standards, our students need to know what they're able to do and what they're not able to do on their devices. So I think it would be very, very important to go over this, okay, like these are the activities you can do on your iPads or your Chromebooks or whatever they're using, and then this is what you're not supposed to be using. I can tell you right now, for many of my students, they do not always use the internet safely or do not use their device properly, and maybe by suggesting to them and walking through, and you can take all this information and definitely put it into kid language, but to explain to them specifically what is expected of them when they are going and using their devices. So that is my presentation on Talbot County's AUPs and my citations.